Yo, what's up guys? I feel like a Power Ranger. I want to show you guys something I just picked up. It's a lot of fun. I'm really happy with my purchase. Give you a little background. I used to have a 2003 Yamaha R6. Bought it off a friend for a really good deal actually. Put a good amount of money into it to get it the way I wanted it to look, and then I sold it. Now that the weather's kind of been breaking, I've been wanting another bike, and I've also been wanting to learn how to wheelie. Now granted, you can wheelie on bigger bikes and stuff like that, I get it. I don't know, I just thought it was a good bike to give it a shot on. I have a couple friends with these bikes as well, and it's cool when you just have like a little squad of them. They're a lot of fun. They're pretty universal. Like yesterday we were literally riding them through the grass and stuff, something I never did on my R6. Ramping them off curbs, just stupid stuff. So without further ado, I'll show you my new bike. It's a 2019 Honda Grom in the color red. A wise man once said, ride red, get head. So that was why I went with this color, and not just because it was the only 2019 leftover color they had. Made in China.
To call it where it came from. It did come from China, so I think it's a very accurate term.
Show you guys the little turn signals I got. They're just flush turn signals. I bought them off Amazon for like 15 or 20 bucks. They should be a direct plug and play, I'm hoping, so we will find out shortly, but they're also LED. Now when you're doing the LED turn signals, it is imperative to do a relay as well. Since the LEDs draw a lower current, you plug them in and turn the bike on, the LED turn signals will stay on constantly. Now you put the relay, and it acts, I guess, essentially as a resistor. After I get these installed, I'll plug them in, show you guys how they will probably stay on constantly, and then I'll put the flasher relay on to fix the issue, so we can kind of see it firsthand. I'll go ahead and start taking off the stock turn signals now. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll take all 4 of those out. Just boom, boom, and the other side, boom, boom, okay. Now the next part is very important, so you always want to keep track of your hardware, keep it with the parts that come off, so you always know where they go back. So I'm just going to set mine right over here. Alright, that was pretty easy. I just started with the top. You can see it's got like a little dimple there that's threaded for the screw. It sits like inside of there. So you just have to pry it apart a little bit, pop the top off, and then I pop the bottom off afterwards. But pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and unplug these 2 wires here before I get the headlights and the turn signals, and then take this whole front end off. We have the whole headlight assembly off now. Just gonna undo this, I believe, 8mm bolt and this little rivet. The 2 red plastic pieces should separate from the black one in the middle. Just have to line these up, the little slotted part there, and that'll pop out. And if you take a look, that's actually the relay that we're gonna end up replacing later on. So I took the bolt off. They're both separated, like I said. Line them up at the end there, pop them out. You also have to rotate it a little bit because this little metal clip is going to be hooked onto that plastic there. So once you finagle that a little bit, it should pop off pretty simple. Then you want to undo this clip here and this clip, and that'll disconnect your factory turn signals. Now we're over at the workbench, which is actually a 90s Japanese ship box. We'll just take off this little bolt there. It looks to be maybe a 10mm. And I believe this turn signal should pop right out. Once you undo those little nuts, the turn signal will thread out with the wire and plug as well. You see there's like a little metal spacer in there and this rubber grommet. So you pull both of those out, and then we should be ready to put the new turn signals in. All right, we got our turn signals back out. They do come with this double-sided tape. I'm gonna tear out the inside, just use the outside of it. Now I'm going to put the double-sided tape on the back of the turn signal. That way I can position it which way I want onto the plastic. Either side doesn't matter as long as you plug it into the appropriate connector for the side plastic that you're putting it on. But that'll just go in there. It'll be oriented something like that. So now I got them both mounted on, and they look pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and put these red plastic pieces back onto the headlight assembly, plug them in. Plug them in, and then I'll show you guys how they work or don't work. Okay, everything's back on, screws back in, these are slid back into the holes. Make sure that the metal clip is on the plastic down there. I just went ahead and plugged in the turn signals, so I'll just kind of mock this back up and plug it in to show you guys what these are looking like at this point right now. All right, I got the bike started up so you guys can see. Watch, I'll go ahead and hit the left turn signal, and it'll come on and then stay on. I'll do it again, and it doesn't blink. So that's why we'll replace the relay right there. She does have a little switch on here, so you can change the speed. We'll just go ahead and try and plug it in how it is now, and hopefully it'll do the trick. If not, I'll adjust it accordingly. Stock relay does have these two rubber pieces on it. This one on the back will kind of mount it to the bike, and this one here. So you want to swap these two rubber pieces onto the new relay. Black rubber piece at the bottom actually wouldn't fit on because the orientation of the prongs is slightly different. It still plugs into the factory plug, but it just couldn't fit that rubber grommet on there. I'll turn the bike back on. We'll try it now. Left turn signal. Good. Right signal. Good. Everything works as it should. So I'm gonna mount it back up. I got it all mounted up and it looks 100 times better, in my opinion. Much more sleek. Next I gotta do the rear turn signals, which I ordered like more low profile ones, but I gotta put this fender eliminator on first, and then the low profile ones won't be in until Thursday. That's it for the front for now, and it looks a hell of a lot better. I'll go ahead and turn the bike back on one more time, just so you guys can see the turn signals. So, there's a right turn signal there. It's really bright out right now, so it's kind of hard to really see them, but they definitely do their job, so that's good. I didn't do like a before and after walk around, but I mean, come on now.
You may pause that.
So much better. All right, so we're back the next day. Turn signals came in. They actually weren't supposed to come until tomorrow. Pretty happy I got them already. Another thing I'm pretty stoked about is they actually already have bullet connectors on them, which I'm hoping fit right into the factory connectors. So go ahead and get these installed. It really shouldn't take long. You want to pop the seat off just like yesterday, and I'm hoping that I can just get right to the wires. There's the factory wires, factory bullet connectors. Looks like they're the same size. I'm assuming the green is ground because there's two of them, so they run off the same ground and just separate power. Black on here should be ground as well. Yellow should be power. So you just plug each black one into there. It looks like the light blue wire is the right turn signal. I'm kind of pulling and pushing on the wire. I don't know if you can see that the right one's moving there. So light blue wire is the right, and then that would make the orange wire the left one. Just double check here. Yep. So just make sure the left turn signal plugs in the orange, right plugs in the light blue. I'm gonna kind of probably not record this because it's gonna be hard to get to those. You can still access the nuts there from underneath. So I'll undo those and get these turn signals off real quick. I got both the turn signals out. One thing that kind of sucks though is I accidentally pulled that rubber grommet out like while I was trying to fish them through. So I'm gonna have to try and stick that rubber grommet back up in there. Just to kind of give you a quick look, like much smaller. It's gonna be a lot cleaner of a look. Quick, I took some electrical tape and taped up the wires just so one, they're not exposed, and it should look a little bit cleaner. Not that anyone would ever really look up underneath the bike like that, but I just think it looks a little bit better. So tape those up. Gonna fish the wires through here, but before you fish the wires up through here, make sure you put the nut on the back side of here, and then just kind of snug that up for now. See, it looks a lot cleaner. So if you're looking underneath, you don't see yellow and black wires, just looks black. These bullet connectors on the aftermarket wires are a little bit thinner than the plug there. So I got some channel locks because I couldn't find any needle nose like directly near me. So I'm gonna try and pinch that a little bit. All right, so I snugged it up a little bit with the channel locks, and now it's in there good. Pulling on it, it's not sliding out. So before it was pretty loose. That should work. I'll get the ground plugged in, run the other wire, and then we'll see if they work. Both turn signals are wired up, as you can see, plugged in. I'm gonna try and tuck these away, maybe tape up the rest of these or something, just to hide it a little more, make it look a little cleaner. I do already have the flasher relay, obviously from doing the front turn signals. So if you're doing just the rears, I would imagine you'd want the same relay, but I suggest just doing them both at the same time because That's what I did, and I think it looks really good. Start the bike up. Left signal. And the right signal. Step back a little bit further. Wow, that looks so much better. You can see the factory ones installed up here. And the Equinox ones. And even when they're off, it just looks so much better in my opinion with the clear housing. So yeah, that was pretty simple. I think it was pretty neat that they already came with bullet connectors like that. Plugs right into the factory harness. So I'll go ahead and put the link in the description down below for the flasher relay I bought, as well as the front and rear turn signals. But man, once I get the bike outside, I'll try to do like a full 360 view so you can see it a little bit better. So I taped the wire up more, put the cover back on, and it literally looks from the factory. There it is. Looks so much cleaner than the big clunky orange ones. And then the front too. Doesn't look like a reindeer anymore. Pretty happy with both the purchases and the installs. I think a grand total of like $20 for both. So hopefully they hold up decent. They are very bright. Make sure you tighten these nuts up a good bit. Now, you can see it's like a rubber mount right there. So I just made sure squish the rubber a little bit, and they shouldn't break because they got a little bit of play there, which is nice. I'll turn the turn signals on real quick, just so you can see how they look in the daylight. Now, a lot of people were doing like the integrated taillights, but the reason that I didn't do that was because if you have the turn signal with the taillight as well, it's hard to see which way it's indicating that you're turning. You can see even from back here with the independent turn signals, you can tell it's the right turn signal. So if you like this video, please like it. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. But thanks for watching.